Hello, this is Sculpture 2, The Wired Tree. In this one, you get to have a choice on what you want to do because there are kind of two different directions to go with. This is I believe, a very popular project. A lot of times and you might even remember being in Sculpture 1, seeing a Sculpture 2 student work on these because they are pretty cool. Um, so with this, so basically what it is first is that you create, possibly like a willow style tree made out of copper wire. And it doesn't have to be a willow tree, it can be other ones. But what I am looking for is trying to show movement. It's one of the principles of design that you might have remembered from middle school with the elements and principles of design, and how an artist has to try to give the illusion of movement, especially in something that is as static, as a sculpture that doesn't move, and how you can show that as the artist. So, like we see this golder one that's right there where the cursor's at. It seems like the wind is blowing it, to the right. So I'm kind of looking for you to demonstrate your ability to show movement in something like this. Now, are there exceptions? Yeah, there's always exceptions. So, but that is kind of a big thing I do want you to consider. Um, so the choice, you have two options on this, and they are listed here just by the photos and over here by the assignment. Is you can stay true to sculpture and create something that is completely three-dimensional, where you can set it down, you can walk around it and see all sides. Or you can create something like on these two photos where it's going to be flat against a frame. Now the frame could be closed like this one is, or it could be opened like this one is. If you want an open one, you're probably going to have to bring in your own frame. I have a couple things here that we could possibly use, but it becomes a part of the artwork itself, kind of thing, and that's something you kind of need to supply yourself. And that kind of goes with this one as well. You'd almost want to bring in your own frame for that, so when you get it back, you get to keep it. I guess you could make one yourself here, but it would be easier if you just grab something, and you could buy something cheap at Walmart or possibly even at the Dollar Tree, kind of thing. And if you want to texturize it like this, it's pretty easy to do. We just paint it white, and then you sandpaper it, and you got kind of an antiquish looking frame. So with this one up here, to make it three-dimensional, if you notice, every time they make it, they have something they build it on. So you have to supply, that. And I have up here says, could it be like driftwood, a rock? I had, or even like an old, a piece of pottery, like you can have something that looks kind of old, and how you can try to make it look like the tree is growing out of the pot, on that. So there's quite a few things you could do. It's just up to you to figure out which direction you want to go with it, which of these you like. Now, we all use copper wire. If you have some way of getting a really thin braided wire, it's a different color, you can, by all means, you can do that. I have had people in the past spray paint their colors, and I've never had anybody that I felt like really successfully did it, because I always think they way over did it too fast. Like, I think you need to do it more in layers, because you don't want it to drip. So if you want to even explore that possibility, where you really like the silver here against that black, we could still make it out of copper, and I have metallic spray paint. We could, and I have some you know uh, trees that people didn't want, so we can experiment with and see what we can come up with. So other than that, watch this video demonstration. It's just making wire trees fast and easy. We do not do this one, in terms of this technique. It's really neat though. If you wanted to do it, you could, but again, it kind of comes down to their wire they're using is super fine, and I don't have that. I'm not even sure how I could get that. I will be giving you a different demonstration how to actually do the project. So you'll see that one here in a little bit. And then basic directions, you're going to cut 25-inch long, pieces of wire that are insulated. You'll have to use an X-Acto blade and cut the insulation off. And then we fold it in half, and then we twist it, And where we're twisting is add on the very bottom. You'll see it's like a big ring. You'll end up cutting that, and then that'll be your branch, your roots. So your roots are really important, as you can see in these pictures. And obviously the canopy in your tree is important. Going down here, top of the tree is well made, bottom of the tree is well made, and mounted on some sort of an object. So pretty straightforward, real cool project, real popular one. Hopefully you get some inspiration in terms of just telling me which one you want to do in terms of getting your idea approved. It's basically telling me if, do you want to make it 3-dimensional and what do you want to put it on? Or do you want to make it more 2-dimensional, that sticks out away from the frame? So it's not just flat, but it's away from. I can show you in class. We have a couple examples here. Are you going to do that? And where are you going to get that frame at? So other than that, like always, just shoot me an email if you have any questions, and good luck on the project. Thanks.